Hello and welcome to Certified Black Weirdo, where we celebrate weird black art every week. My name's Angela Tharp. We're talking about Is God Is this week, which I'm very excited about. We're switching up the structure a little bit. If you've been around, you might see that I've been kind of playing around with how I do these. And so what we're going to do today is I'm going to, introduce it. Here we are. And then I'm going to read the essay, and I'm actually going to show you the essay. It's really short. It's like a paragraph. It's kind of like a flash essay. And then we'll talk about it. And I'll try to see if I can, I can't promise that I'll know how to do this on YouTube, but I'll see if I can break it up so that you can read along with the essay if you want, or just go to the commentary afterward. Both will be about 2 minutes. So thank you for hanging out. We talked about Michael Jackson last week, which I was really scared to do. I don't even know how I feel about it. And usually this channel is for stuff that I'm really excited about. But I saw it and I wanted to write about it. And so alas, if you did see it, let me know what you thought, for better or for worse. I know it's hard to talk about stuff like that online because people either are obsessed with Michael Jackson, or they don't think the movie should have been made at all. And so it was kind of scary to be like, I don't know, here's some thoughts, but thanks for hanging in there. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this. So we're going to jump into the reading part next. It's just going to be me reading this sheet of paper, so you can, if you like writing an essay, so you can check it out, or you can just skip to the commentary. I'm thinking that I want to, we'll see how it goes. I mean, it might be kind of awkward when I put it together, but I'm really wanting to write more regularly and kind of incorporate that a little bit more onto YouTube. Maybe it's not the place for it. We'll see. But we'll give it a try. Okay, thanks for hanging out. On twins and Is God Is. I read this really interesting essay a few weeks ago in The New Yorker called Giving Away My Twin by Jean Garnett. And in it, she was talking about how when you have a twin, it can feel like you're two parts of the same person, and how in older movies from the 40s and 60s, that originally said 50s, but I found out it was 40s, a lot of the time there's a good twin and a bad twin, and they fight to the death, which is maybe symbolic of the two parts of all of us, the one who wants to do no harm and the one who wants to do harm, maybe, sometimes, if only to see how it feels. When I was a kid, my sister had a bug crawling up her arm, and she wasn't listening to me, so I pressed my thumb against it until it was dead. A case of wanting to feel something, maybe, even if the feeling is ultimately regret. Anyway, Is God is about twins, and they are opposites in a lot of ways. But what I like about this movie, and about twins in movies lately, or at least black twins in this movie and in Sinners, is it's not so much about a good twin and a bad twin. It's not so much twin v twin, but twins v the world. They are two parts of the same person, maybe, like Jean Garnett said, and they struggle against each other, sure, but they also are so much stronger because they're together. They even each other out. I like the twinning of this movie, the many ways they can converse with each other, imagine with each other, be bolder and braver, and do things they might not otherwise do, for better or for worse. I also like the twists and turns along the way as they go to complete their mission issued by their absent mother, who has come back with one last wish. The movie is surprising in how it delivers, and in its camp in a way, and its ability to build, and it's experimental and abstract in its language, and how the characters name themselves and name each other and relate in this way that's bigger and brighter, maybe definitely more brilliant than the realist world we've all been bound to these days. Then, of course, there's the confrontation itself, that moment where you finally meet the person you have gone all this way, gone through all this trouble to see. There's such a twist and turn of tenderness here with Sterling K. Brown, who continues to cement himself as someone who can play any kind of father. You need a closeted father, a grieving father, an adopted father, an unhinged, violent father. Somehow he can deliver with the kind of gravity that never renders him flat, never renders him one thing. And when the twins go to meet him, for a moment, the world they've built goes hush. They become two parts of the same person again, maybe, faced with this one who made them, who might end them if given the chance. Okay, so this is the post-essay commentary. I don't know. I thought this movie was so cool. It's adapted from a play. And I thought that was really interesting part of it. It was very abstract in that way. And I think the twins, I talked about this in the little essay, but I think the twin aspect of it was so cool. And I think that the fact that this came out a year or two after Sinners, and this sort of pattern of black twins, I think is really interesting. And twins, it's not, I don't know, I think growing up, twins were sort of a horror movie trope, where it's The Shining or whatever, or I think it was The Shining, or it's twins is these haunted, creepy thing, but I think it's like much more realistic to have it like it is in these movies, where it's like twins as like a team of two that knows each other so well. And in this movie, like the way that they communicate is sort of experimental, and the way that they imagine is really and the way they talk to each other, it's just like cool and creative in a way that feels like theater more than Hollywood, I guess. And to blend those two together is really cool. And then the other thing I talked about in this little essay is Sterling K. Brown, who is like such a great, I feel like kind of, I mean, maybe not underrated, but feels underrated actor. You know, he was in This Is Us, and that's, I think, the big role, breakout role, or maybe. But he's been in so many movies. I'm trying to see the little, okay, here we go. Yeah, okay, so I said in the essay, right, that he could play a closeted father. That's kind of, well, maybe that would be a spoiler if I told you what movie he does that in. But that's such a great movie. I love that movie. Okay, I won't tell you, but check it out. Or I guess just Google him and then watch all the movies and you'll find out. A Grieving Father. Okay, maybe I shouldn't tell you what all these are from, but he's in a lot of movies, including Waves, which is a great, maybe indie film about like a black family kind of dealing with this thing that happens. Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul, which is such a good movie. And it's kind of, he plays like a similar character here than in that one. And then, you know, Adopted Father, that's This Is Us. And then, you know, It's Got It. I don't know. He's just really good. Really good. So, yeah, I think that's what I'll say. Go check it out. Let me know if you've seen it. Let me know what you think. And we'll be back next week with more. I'll do some, like, maybe I'll do 2 10-word reviews again. I don't know. Maybe that was, like, a dumb idea, but it was fun to write them. And then I'll do what I liked about it in a minute or less in the shorts throughout the week. So, feel free to check it out. Thanks for hanging, and I will see you next week for something else to celebrate. Maybe sometimes the reviews will be a little bit more ambivalent because I like to, well, sometimes I see movies, whether I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing, or like, this is interesting, I love this, but what about the, you know, like, it's fun to write these little essays and think about them. And so that's kind of what I was doing last week with Michael Jackson. But alas. Okay, talk to you soon. Let me know what you've been watching, reading, listening to, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.